This is not my beautiful house.
This is not my beautiful car.
Well, how did we get here? Well, hello. You've reached the Pottage Hills. We are not at home right now. We are in the woods. If you don't know us, we just recently launched our full-time travel nomad life on August 1st of 2024, if you're watching this 3 years from now. And we are currently camped out in a hotel waiting for our first flight out of the country. But where are we?
We are at Richfield Heritage Park. This is the old Girl Scout camp. This is where we came to camp every summer and earn badges in fire making and cooking.
When she was a wee lass. And for the record, this is in Richfield, Ohio, which is about, 45 minutes south of Cleveland? And I don't
About
know,
a half hour
south. And I remember I read somewhere when this camp was sold to the city. But anyway, it's real nice. They've got a bunch of hiking trails here and stuff. So we figured we would come down here and just take some downtime because we have been very, very busy the last few months getting all of our stuff, getting rid of everything we own and making preparations to go overseas and everything. And today is like the first full day where we don't have anything to do. Tomorrow, Monday morning, we have to start doing a whole bunch more stuff that needs to be done by Wednesday, but that's all right. Mm-hmm. So what are we here to talk about today? We're here to talk about how to basically bypass the process of getting diamond status with Wyndham Hotels. Do you want to just go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah.
All right.
So we checked into I shouldn't say so.
Don't say so.
We checked into a Super 8 hotel in Richfield for 10 nights.
Why did we pick Richfield, Dawn?
Because Greg was trying to save $1,
Uh-huh.
and it was the cheapest hotel.
Oh, it's the cheapest hotel on the planet.
Yes.
And we are getting what we paid for.
Yes, we are.
But why did we need 10 nights? Dawn doesn't even, she's like, why are we here? She's like, the hotel is so terrible.
I have spent so much time dealing with thousands of people giving things away. I am not even aware of why we have to stay 10 nights.
All right. Well, here's the long and the short of it. We are going international in 3 days. So we are starting over in Asia with Thailand and Malaysia for about 3 months. And we've mentioned this before, and every nomad knows it, that having status when you're overseas is a big deal. You know, everybody in the United States has status, but people elsewhere in the world do not have access to the credit cards that allow you to shortcut the status process. So when you're abroad, it's more likely that you're able to get upgrades and things because not everybody has it. So it's a big deal. So we wanted to get diamond status on as many hotel chains as possible before we launched or shortly after launching. So we found that a lot of the chains will status match you. And we had already gotten the credit cards to get platinum status on most of the chains, but we wanted that elusive diamond status. And even though they have granted you platinum status, in order to get that diamond status, they still say, oh, you need to stay 70 nights, or you need to stay 50 nights, or 40 nights, depending on the chain, which is a lot. You know, that's depending on...
coming.
Oh, look at the doggies. So we went ahead and we found that if you get a Hilton branded American Express Platinum card, it automatically gives you diamond status on Hilton. Right out of the gate, you don't have to do a spend or anything. The initial spend gets you, I think we got 175,000 points on Hilton after the initial spend, but the diamond status is right away. So before we were going to hit the road, we used that diamond status and we wrote to Wyndham and said, hey, we know that you do the status match. And they said, yes, you will be diamond for 90 days. But then you revert back to your platinum unless you stay 10 nights within that 90 days, in which case your diamond status goes all the way through 2026, which for us at this point would be 17 months without having to do any additional stays or anything. And that means on Wyndham, you are pretty much guaranteed a suite upgrade if it's available. I mean, that's what the website says under, diamond status. So yeah, so we found this place. I found this place.
I am not responsible for any of this.
And so when we were finishing up with the apartment, right? So we knew that it was going to be chaos. The last of our furniture was being taken away 4 days before the lease was out. We knew we were going to have a million things dangling. So we said, let's spend the last 4 nights in a Wyndham property. I found this place. We can shuttle back and forth easy enough to the apartment or whatever. But then I was like, hey, we're going straight to Asia. Because originally we'd planned to drive across the U.S. for 3 months. But because of wildfires and whatnot, we just didn't want to go out west because it looked like it was going to be unpleasant. We've already done the other great American road trips. The northern route was the only one left. And it's just, there's too many fires. We didn't want to do it. And that's where we were going to get all of our nights in Wyndham, right? So we said, look, we'll just tack on a couple days extra, delay our flight, get our 10 days before we leave. And that's where we're at. And this hotel, like the first reservation I made, was $40 a night, right? And that $40 includes the cat pee smell that pervades the property. So there's that. So anyway, 10 days, we will have our diamond status. There will be another very short video on how to shortcut the process for choice hotels, which is even easier. So that will be coming up shortly. So don't say so.
Don't say so.
Until then, happy travels.